Carrie Megan, and I'm the featured artist at Page Waterman. I thought I'd talk a little bit about my methods and tools, those things that I use to create the botanical art that you see behind me. The two most important things for me are magnification, because you can only draw what you can see. Therefore, I use a magnifying glass as well as very magnified reading glasses. And the other most important thing are like very sharp tools. So I use a 0.5 millimeter pencil, and most of my leads are 0.5 millimeters, and I'll show that to you in a minute, as well as a very fine point on my brush. That way I can get into very, very tight areas and show lots of detail, like all the little spaces around very small veins and little hairs and bumps and lumps. In terms of my process, I pretty much start the same way with all the work that I do, whether it's a drawing or a watercolor on watercolor paper or vellum. What I do is start with a simple contour drawing on a piece of tracing. And that way I get just the rough idea, but in a very tight way, of whatever the specimen is that I'm drawing. And this tracing paper acts as a piece of carbon paper in a way, because I draw on one side and then I draw on the back side with a soft HB graphite pencil. And that way that acts as my carbon that gets transferred onto the final surface that I'm going to be working on. And once I do that, I turn it over one more time and do a third final tracing. And the pressure of my pencil pushes that soft graphite onto my final surface. And you can get an idea. If you get up a little bit close, you can see that drawing there. Once I get that contour on, I do a little bit more detail and I clean it up a bit. And if it's a graphite drawing, I'll go right in with my pencils, and I use a full range of pencils, all different graphite densities. You can kind of see here, it gives you an idea. My hardest pencil is my 8H, and that 8H is very hard and comes off being very, very light in value, all the way to, I think this is a 3B, which is a very soft lead and becomes very, very dark. And then I have a full range in between, and that full range gives me a variety of tonal values that you can see in some of the work that's displayed over here. Now, if I were doing a watercolor, after I had my tight contour drawing, I would want to work out some of my colors. And what I do are some color swatches to begin with. I don't go directly to my final color. I build up layers of very dilute washes of transparent watercolor. And it's layer upon layer to create the final color that I get to. And I have a small example here. And if you take a look at this G-clay right here, which is the final, it gives you an example of all the different stages that tomato went through, starting with a very light wash and building color upon color to get the final finish that you see here. So that's a few of the things that I do, a few of my tricks, and if you want to see the results of those tricks, come on into Page Waterman and you can see a full display. Thank you.